Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Love Center midweek service. This is our two-way talk. This is Bishop Tyrone Smith.
And Lady Savannah Smith.
And we are delighted to be back here with you again on our midweek two-way talk show. Go ahead and share this with your family and friends and let them know that the Love Center midweek two-way talk is on the air. First Lady, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Bishop.
Doing well? Yeah?
Excited about our session tonight and to pick up with where we left from last week.
Yeah, because we've been having some great conversations. We've been having some really great conversations. It's been really good. For those of you that don't know, it's been this is our midweek virtual show with Bishop and Lady Savannah. But this last 4 weeks? It's been about 4 weeks.
Something like that.
Yeah, we've been talking about Love Chronicles and just talking about relationship, on how we can really kind of strengthen people's relationship. So much is happening with people during the pandemic. You know, we're dealing with the virus, but then we're also dealing with a number of people who are really struggling, trying to maintain their relationship. And so the Lord kind of gave me this a while back, that we would come together and really talk about relationships. So just good to see everybody. Certainly want to welcome everybody that's coming on. Go ahead and just share this right now so that we can go ahead and kind of get started. I thought it would be nice. We're entering into the holiday season, and I always enjoy being around my wife. So I decided to make it more intimate and come near the fireplace and let's just talk. Let's talk intimacy. Let's talk relationship. Let's see if we can really be a blessing and really help some people out.
I think that was a good idea for this setup.
Yeah.
Bishop.
Yeah. So you all, we're wearing our Raven uniform because our home team is struggling, and we're trying to bring some positive energy for our Ravens team. They wound up losing on Sunday to the Patriots, and so we got to get back into the winning column. So First Lady threw her jersey on. I said, well, that's great. Let me throw mine on, and we're gonna try our best to really help some people out. We got to help some people, and then we got to help our home team.
Yeah, just a little.
We got to help them. We got to help them. So I pray everybody's been doing well. A lot is happening in our country, and the numbers of COVID-19 are still going up. And I just want to encourage everybody as much as possible to make sure that you are practicing social distancing. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure that you're doing everything that you can to prevent yourself from falling into COVID-19.
And don't forget, wash your hands.
Wash your hands, please. Please help us help each other. We gotta help each other with this. So we just kind of set this up. How is the lighting? Is the lighting good? You all let us know if the lighting is good, if we need to increase the lighting so you can see us better, because we can do that. Just kind of let us know if the lighting is good. If the lighting is good, just give us a thumbs up. That'll be a way of just kind of letting us know that things are good. So if we need to increase lighting, just let us know, because it looks a little dark on our end, and I want to make sure that we've got good lighting. Y'all know how I feel about good broadcasting. We want to make sure that things are good.
Okay.
We're getting thumbs up. All right.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, let's first and foremost, I just want to acknowledge some of our sons and daughters that are on, and then certainly to some of our guests that's on. My daughter Tracy is on. I appreciate her. Always good to see her. Appreciate you, Lady Tracy. Denise, it's so good to see you. Typically, you are working, so It's good to have you on tonight. Very good to have you on. Listen, I went out to Indianapolis, as you know, and we had the privilege of assisting Bishop Marvin Denson and the Covenant Churches of America in the consecration of a new prince in the church, Bishop Jonathan Mason. And just want to send my respects to him and to his church there in Indianapolis, Greater Works Worship Center. Bishop sends his love. Got a chance to meet some wonderful people. And one of those individuals that I met was this kind gentleman, Christopher Williams. I got a chance to meet him out there. The Lord bless you. I'm so glad that you're on tonight. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Just really appreciate you being on. Well, Denise let us know that she's at work. She's at work. But I appreciate you being on, Denise, even while you're at work. I appreciate you being on. My son is on. Destin, I appreciate you being on tonight. Appreciate you. Amaris Talbot, my daughter, is on tonight. I appreciate her being on. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. And certainly as others are coming in, we'll just kind of say hello and appreciate them as they're coming in. First Lady, I'm gonna open up with something. I've been thinking about it off and on all day. You know, I've been on the phone off and on pretty much since the plane landed from Indianapolis. We just been having conversations throughout, and it's all been good. It's all been good, but I've been stretched. I've been stretched, but I've been thinking about this, and there's a story about King David. And in the story of King David, it is the story of how he got, using Jada Pinkett Smith's term, entanglement, how he got entangled with an affair with Bathsheba, and how all of that happened. Many of you, if you've ever had a chance to read the story of how David became entangled with Bathsheba, it's a very interesting story. And I want to go from a different angle, and I want to share something. I want to share something with the people on tonight. And when the story opens up and it says, in the spring, while kings were at war, David was at home. And so while he's at home, he goes out on his balcony and he sees this woman bathing. Now, what most people may not know in the book of Samuel, where the story is written, that when that story opens up and it talks about him not being at war, but being at home, the first thing that I want people to see in this entry of entanglement was David's place. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so where he would not have even fallen into the temptation had he would have been doing what he was supposed to do.
Yes.
He's in the wrong place. He's there at the wrong time, and he becomes enticed, but not only because he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, but what many people don't know was the reason why he was so easily tempted, because he just vanished away. So I want to start off by saying this. It is extremely tempting when you have been in a relationship and now you're single, because all of the benefits that you have enjoyed being married, you must now divert back to being single again. That ain't easy.
It's not.
That's not easy. That's not easy. And God hates divorce. He said that in the book of Malachi.
Yes, he did.
However, there are permissible reasons for divorce.
Yes.
But I want to say to those individuals who may be going down that way that be careful, because you are now getting ready to, or you are now into being single again. Now you got to pull your emotions back. And the one thing that they have to do, they have to really practice not being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Because you can easily be tempted if you are someplace you are not supposed to be.
Yes.
So let me open up by just saying, you're going to do yourself a great justice by managing yourself effectively and not being in places that you should not be.
And also knowing yourself, knowing the things that will make you want
Absolutely.
to participate in certain things that you no longer are privy to anymore.
Absolutely.
So you have to know those things and know the environments that you shouldn't find yourself in, because it's going to be a temptation to you. So those are things, if you're in this season, that you need to really stop and think about.
Yeah.
Because you can save yourself a lot of trouble.
Yeah. And a lot of times, you can more quickly be entangled emotionally.
Yes.
Instead of divinely. The scripture says that what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. The problem is, how much of these relationships did God really unite? Because many times we emotionally become attached to something before we've actually gotten to know who we are attaching ourselves to.
Yes.
And we there's a lot of detriment that happens inadvertently. I believe very sincerely that some things are done, it's inadvertent. But the danger is, once your emotions have become attached, now those emotions are dictating your movements and what you're doing and how you're doing. And people have to be very careful. It is one of the reasons why sex is reserved for a specific time. But I do know that biblically, I know what it says, but I also know the time that we're living in. And I do recognize that there's a lot of things that have to be considered when you're now engaging with individuals. Because I know of a situation where a young lady was trying to follow the biblical model of not entering into sexual interactions before marriage, only to discover that her not engaging was easier than she thought, because she later found out that her husband was actually homosexual. So then you fall into these other things, and we've got to help each other to manage these things. I mean, these are, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why we call this Love Chronicles. This is what this is. These are difficult things that have to be dealt with. And I want to say, how many of you know that some of the difficulties that you may have, either you're dealing with now in relationship, or you had once dealt with in a previous relationship, had more to do with, number one, how the relationship was formed, what was the undergirding, how it began, and or you really just being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it just started off as just temptation. You just started off as temptation, and it happened. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Pastor Gray, it's good to see you. I know of situations where things went left because they started off left.
I think the majority of the time, Bishop, I think it starts that way. And I think even if it starts that way, there are cases, of course, we know that it ends abruptly. But I do believe if by chance you find yourself in a situation like that and it starts off, with these examples that you mentioned, there is still hope for it. It may take
look at what happened with us.
Yes,
Just
that's correct.
review. Let them know how we started. I'm gonna make a slight adjustment to the light, but let them know how we started. I mean, we're in, Lord Jesus, we're in the best places of our lives right now. I mean, the love we have now, the love I have now, is way better than where it was.
Yes, we've come a long way.
We've come this far by faith.
For sure.
Leaning on the Lord. I mean, we didn't come through toils and snares.
Everything.
We didn't come through some stuff.
But thank God we managed to weather the storms.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lovely day now.
Yes.
The sun is shining and it's lovely now.
It was not lovely in the beginning, though.
Lord, it was some rainy days. Yeah. Thank you, Jesus. It was some rainy days. It was some cold days.
Very cold. Very cold.
It was some cold days. It was some tough days.
But it was good because I think now
she treated me wrong, y'all.
I did not. That is not true, y'all.
But tell her what happened. Just tell her what happened.
I'll give you the abridged version.
And I'm gonna let Lady Tracy, because she just posted out something. Yeah. But just tell them that. I'm gonna change the lighting a little bit.
Okay. So Bishop and our relationship, it didn't start off the way it should have. We met and we almost instantly were attracted to each other. So we, got together, and our first child was born before we got married. So that lets you know right there that it didn't start off in the beginning. And Bishop's thing was he didn't want me to feel like I was marrying a preacher. He wanted me to feel comfortable. He wanted me to be comfortable with Tyrone, not the preacher. So looking back over the years, that was very detrimental to all of us, to my family, to some of his family members, because although he was trying to make me feel comfortable, it had a long-lasting effect on the people that were around us.
Absolutely.
He was still a man of God. We were in error. We were both sinning, and we were both well aware of it, but it had such a tremendous impact on the people that were watching us. And it took us years to kind of rebound from that. The first, I would say, 5 to 7 years of our marriage, it was very tumultuous, and both of us had to come to terms individually with things that we were dealing with, and as well as together. I know the Lord had to deal with me. And I know Bishop has said before that there were times where the Lord had to deal with him, and talk to him about some things. But when you start wrong, it's a good chance it could end wrong and abruptly. But
unless the individuals come to grips with their wrong. I'm sorry.
But I can tell you that we are a living example that it can work, even if it starts off really bad, because I'll be honest with you, we were sinning and we were enjoying ourselves. So I would be lying if I were sitting here
that we have left imprints on. Thank you, Jesus.
That we weren't having fun. We were, and we knew that it was wrong, but it was by the grace of God that he didn't take us out of here while we were in the midst of sinning. So we did it for a while, but over time, the both of us had to make a conscious decision that, okay, we've done this enough, so we have to stop this. And it was at that point, it was hard because of how long we have been
Yes,
participating in
yes,
the activity. But
yes,
both of us
yes.
had to fess up. And especially with Bishop being a pastor, you know, it wasn't a good look. It wasn't a good look, and we knew it was wrong. And a lot of times we do participate. A lot of times we find
That's why we laughing,
ourselves.
y'all. That's why we laughing, because Lady Tracy like, y'all know y'all son on there, right?
Yeah, we know Destin is in here, but it's good. We
Destin,
want
a
him
grown
to
man,
see.
he,
Destin, he knows.
Yeah.
But we find ourselves in a state like that where, you know, we're wanting to get to know somebody, and our emotions and our flesh, I want to tell you, we just didn't have control over it.
No.
Plain and simple, because if we did, none of that would have happened.
So
And we ended up having, like I said, our first child together,
Yeah.
which is Jalen.
Yeah.
We had him out of wedlock, and we just kind of tried to pick up the pieces from there and move on. We did end up going to we went to council.
Yep,
It was a lot that
Yeah.
happened those first 5 to
Yeah.
7 years. So where we are now, oh my gosh, it's a beautiful day. I don't think, with the amount of things that we've encountered over the years, I don't think there's anything now that we could encounter that we can't get over with.
Oh,
If we
no.
manage
No.
to
Yeah.
overcome those first few years, I don't think there's anything. When I say there's nothing, I don't think right now that would be able to break us apart.
No.
If we made it through this much,
No,
because
no.
we've come through too much. The both of us fought very hard, and that had
Yeah.
to be something, you know, something that the both of us made up in our mind earlier on. At one point, it was kind of, I don't know, I would say at points, one was kind of, what am I trying to say? One of us was a little more forthright about it working, and at other times, the other one was, okay, maybe not. But at any rate, we both had to come to grips with our wrongs and make a conscious effort that we were going to work at it together. And in working in it, it was some very hard and tough times.
I think so. Let me just put this up. So Lady Tracy said, "But you put in the work is different when the work is not something done together." Absolutely, it is a collaborative effort. It really is. No one person can do it, because no one person is exclusively wrong. It is a shared wrong, and when it's a shared wrong, it has to be a shared fix.
Yes.
Let me say that. When it's a shared wrong, it has to be a shared fix. No individual. Even, let me say this into the moral consciousness of your Christianity. There are some things that are done by God, but then there's some things that are done by us. That is the reason why in the doctrine of soteriology, which is the doctrine of salvation, salvation can only work this way. He did a part. Jesus went to the cross to redeem. But now we have to believe and then walk out what we believe.
Right.
You can't, there is no one-sidedness. It is not a unilateral relationship. Let me be clear. It's not unilateral. It's bilateral. It's two-way.
Mm-hmm.
The two individuals must partner for the totality of the work that needs to take place. Each person has to render due benevolence to make sure that what is done
Mm-hmm.
is done equally.
Yeah.
We have to do it together. And when we do it, it has to be a sense of, I ain't doing it because you making me do it.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be a genuine, I'm doing this because deep down inside, I love you.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be that. And then you have to recognize that your fingerprints and your footprints are different. And what it's going to take to make your thing work is different than everybody else, because
Mm-hmm.
There's a DNA that's different.
Yeah.
There's a difference in your DNA. There's a difference in what you all have. Know what you have,
Mm-hmm.
value what you have, and work on what you have. Now, the other thing with our relationship too, because you talked about how much we enjoyed it. As much as we enjoyed it, we also then, it wasn't until, and I want to make this part clear because this is really going to help somebody. It wasn't until we really acknowledged, oh, we can't keep doing it like this. That's when it got tough.
Yeah.
Listen to me. It didn't get tough while we was out there doing our thing. It got tough when we said, we're going to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic that when you begin to try to do things the right way, how much resistance comes against you when you're trying to do it the right way? But don't let that deter you from doing it the right way. Be compelled to do it the right way. Be compelled. Do it the right way. Because if you do it the right way, you're going to be able to have a healthy relationship, and you're going to really enjoy the fruit of having a healthy relationship. So because your flame done went down.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Because I know you, First Lady get cold, y'all. She you know she dainty. She just a little.
But see, I can't get too cold with you sitting right here, so I'm good.
I'm
good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Right. So that means you want me to sit closer.
Yeah.
You want me to sit closer.
We're good. We're good.
Your hands is cold.
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm positive.
All right. As long as you're good. This hand's a little heavy over here, though.
But you stop.
All right. So let's go further.
Mm-hmm.
So we sometimes we're not where we need to be, which creates the problem.
Yeah.
Sometimes we create our own temptation.
Yes.
Because you are out of the presence of your mate.
Mm-hmm.
You have angrily left your mate. And now there's all this anger that makes you susceptible to see somebody else's nakedness, somebody else's body that attracts you. And then in the story, he used his influence. And even though Bathsheba was married, to the captain of the guard of which he was overseeing. Isn't it funny how your temptations will make you do things that are so unethically wrong, but you will justify it because it's what you want?
That's good. That is true.
Isn't it funny?
That is funny.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how you could tell somebody else something not to do, and then you contradict the very thing you told somebody else not to do, because you now in that position of authority now feel like, well, but I can justify it.
No, sir. Doesn't look like that.
And that's why things happen the way that it does. That's why things happen the way it does. Wait on the Lord and be of good courage, and he gonna strengthen your heart. Don't rush out there. Don't just rush out there. Make sure you're taking the time to get the right person. Get the right person. Get the person that really, they don't have to be perfect. All right. They don't have to be perfect, but I want you to listen to this. What they lack in perfection, they have to have perfect drive. See, they have to be driven to be in the relationship. They don't have to be perfect within their character, because there's no such thing. But they have to have that perfect drive. They got a drive to want to be with the mate. And as I put up early on, I think it's always funny that in the beginning of the relationship, that their friends didn't matter, family didn't matter because you were so wanting to be with that person. So you didn't care that you didn't hang out with your friends, you didn't go see your family because you were so involved in the relationship, right? And then in the early part of the relationship, I mean, y'all was talking 3, 4, 5 times a day, easy. I mean, y'all was blowing each other's phone up and nobody said nothing. Y'all woke up with each other on the phone. Y'all went to bed with each other on the phone. Nobody cared. But then as soon as you get in a relationship, it's like a 2-call limit. Once in the morning, once in the afternoon, that's it. Don't be calling me. I'm busy. Don't call me. I got too many things to do. But isn't it funny how that happens?
That's because at that point, your emotions are there.
Or maybe not.
Well, initially, I think so. But once you cross over into the relationship.
Yeah, when that other part, see,
yes.
Now it's common.
Yes.
And when it's common, you know, you go from, I love you too. I love you too. Then when you're in a relationship, it's like, I love you. All right, bye.
That's it, yeah.
What happened? Where did the love go?
It's become too common.
So just like a fire. Just like a fire. See, the fire, y'all you may be able to see it faintly. All right. The fire is burning. I want y'all to follow me philosophically. The fire is burning. It's faint, but the fire is burning. The only reason why the fire is faint, because you haven't moved things to stir it up. So if you, all you got to do is take something, or philosophically, you've got to do something, move certain things so that you can stir up the fire. And that may require, as you're stirring up things in fire, that may require you having to move something. See, I'm moving the log so that I can make the fire burn better.
Mm-hmm.
See, I moved it. See, I moved the log so that fire could kick up. And so Denise said, I no longer want to meet someone's representative. No more illusions for me. Wow. Yeah. Because see, we've got to, if we're in relationship, we can't just become so regular that we don't know how to stir up the flame. I'm always intrigued that there's so much love in the beginning, and then it just goes right down in the ground. But you all built all this stuff together, and there's a lot of things that goes along with how you build relationship. Sometimes you just need to be honest and say, you know what? I need to hit the gym.
I was about to say life happens after the initial part.
Sometimes you got to hit the gym. The sexy that you drew each other, well, y'all didn't add a couple of extra X's on the sexy. There's a few other X's, so it's like sexy, you know. So now you got to deal with that. And so Tracy said, exposure of who that person really is. And when the exposure comes, now you got to ask yourself, do I really like what I'm seeing?
And that's where we left off last week.
Yeah, that's where we left off. Art, what I'm now seeing, is this really what I really did I sign up
That's
for?
What I was about to say. Yeah, I didn't sign up.
Did I sign up for that? Because for those of you that weren't on, in psychology says that personality is the mask you wear based upon the environment you are in. But character is who you are when no one is around. And a lot of times we get involved with personality, but then you inevitably marry character. And then you find out that this character is not what I was attracted to. I was attracted to the mask, but the mask was just a facade. And people will not always be able to wear that mask. It will come off. It will come off. And when it comes off, does the flame still burn? Does the flame still burn? Let's go a little further. So in the story of David, David births inevitably Solomon. Ironically, Solomon has some issues too. His issue is magnified. David has this issue with her. Solomon has an issue with 1,000. But here's what's interesting. Solomon was the wisest man that ever lived. But his wisdom couldn't keep his flesh under control. Just because you are gifted, your gift does not control your character. You're giving yourself to the unctioning and the control of the Holy Spirit is how that character is controlled. You can be gifted and raggedy.
That's true.
You can be gifted and be the biggest fornicator in the kingdom.
I think we have enough examples out there now. I think everyone is convinced. That is so true. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah. And isn't it ironic? His gift couldn't stop his behavior. And this is the part that really blows me away. When he said, he that findeth a wife find a good thing and obtain favor in God. It's amazing he would say it. His statement was right. But isn't it funny that his statement couldn't keep him from having 999 other women? So let me pause by saying this. Be careful of people who have great advice that they themselves can't follow. Yeah. What good is it to have such profundity to share so many things, but you yourself can't walk none of it out? But aren't y'all tired of following people just because they sound good?
That's what I was about to say. That's why you have to be careful who you listen to, especially when you're taking relationship advice, because there are so many people out there that I thank God that He's allowed us to be transparent. But there's so many people out there that aren't transparent, and they're sowing so many different seeds into individuals' life when they try to speak to them about relationship, and their relationship behind the scenes is all busted and broken up. But you don't know that. So That's why it's important to, whenever you find yourself going through issues in your relationship, find you someone that you know is, someone that you know has a good relationship, has a
Absolutely.
relationship with
Absolutely.
God, and that they're not just putting on a facade, just trying to, convince you because they're trying to make everything look good. So be very careful who you go to for relationship advice.
Absolutely. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make this clear to you. Everything that's about your life, you have a whole lot of people that's following you. And if you're not careful, your bad behavior is going to multiply into the lives of other people.
And that very well could affect their walk with Christ, where you're supposed to be leading them to Christ. That could very well be a repellent because of watching how you are handling your relationship.
You are accountable for somebody's life, whether you want to admit it or not. You're accountable, and you've got to be careful. I know for a fact right now there are people that are following me right now, and many of them have said, Bishop, your life, we're watching how you treat First Lady. Uh, they're watching it. They're watching how I do what I do with you, and it's helping them to reconfigure, recalibrate how they're handling their wives. But what's funny is I didn't grow up seeing that. But I didn't let that be a deterrent. Just because I didn't grow up seeing it, I didn't make that an excuse for me not handling my wife right. You got to know that as an adult, that when you know things are wrong, you're not going to continue to do wrong. You're going to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You got to commit to do the right thing. You really do. You can't just follow bad all your life expecting good. You can't. You can't. Mm-hmm. At some point, you gotta get off that road. Get off that road. Get off that road.
And sometimes you may not know exactly how, you're going to navigate the road, but you have to create your own path. And we always say, create your own footprints, especially if you don't have a good example of what marriage should look like.
Which brings up a good point. Whoever you're going to be with, y'all gonna have to get an understanding what is successful marriage in the eyes of both people. Because if y'all are entering into a relationship or you're in a relationship and what your aspirations are completely different, it's going to become very difficult for them to walk out relationship. It's going to become very difficult. And I'm being practical tonight. I mean, I could be philosophical, I could be didactic, I could walk the scriptures, I could share revelation with you all night. But I want these times are for us to come together where I get a chance and my wife gets a chance to really talk very down to earth. I want to be down to earth. I want you all, even if you all have questions, I want you to ask questions and engage us, talk to us. I want to be down to earth. I want to be practical. I want to be able to reach you all and talk to you all and help you all really understand how to walk out relationship. Because it is a sad thing. I've got colleagues that are profound preachers, but they are not that good at being a husband. They really aren't. They really aren't. And many of them, what they've just decided to do is just They just gonna just kind of walk it out, just be normal. Just they're not gonna put no more emphasis in it.
But at some
It's
point,
just whatever.
At some point, that's going to get old, and somebody is going to get tired.
Oh no, I know some wives is tired, and many of them have stated that the only reason why they're staying in is because they just don't believe in divorce. So they're not. Listen to me careful. They're not married to him. They're married to a principle. It's sad when you can't love the individual, but you got to love a principle that becomes the glue to make you stay.
That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow.
It's not good. It really isn't good. I want to take a commercial break here. While I was in Indiana, got a chance to meet this wonderful man and woman of God, Overseer Mark and Lady Renee Maxwell. The Lord bless you.
Bless you.
Glad to have you on tonight. We certainly enjoyed you. Congratulations on your elevation to Overseer. I celebrate you and that whole diocese, that Indiana diocese, under the leadership of Bishop Jonathan Mason. So welcome. But I know people who've married their belief because they no longer believe in the mate. They don't believe in it no more. Mm-hmm. They know the love left long time ago. So what they hold on to is a principle that keeps them together.
But is that the will of God for you to live like that?
Absolutely not. No, it is not. It's not. And I don't care what anybody tells you. That is not the will of God. That is not the will of God. That's not the will. The principle is the foundation that is built on. Mm-hmm. It is the bond of love mm-hmm. that keeps the individuals together. Mm-hmm. But now, because love is gone, now we just hold on to a principle.
Living a lie.
There's the level of cordial. The cordial is only because we're in it. I mean, I've known down through the years where the pastors, the husband and wife, weren't even living in the same house.
I was just thinking about that. How about that?
Just thinking about that.
We have so many moments like that. I mean, all the time. I was literally just thinking about that.
Yeah. I know people who weren't even living in the same house.
But why would you do that? It takes more energy to me to do that and to display to the world that you're together, but when you go home, you're miserable.
Because you're living out this image. It's a sad thing that you are more concerned about how it looks than how it functions. Let me say that again. It's a sad thing that you are more concerned with how it looks rather than how it functions.
If you would put that amount of energy into ways to reignite and rekindle your marriage, that would work. Because you're spending just as much energy trying to make everybody think it looks good. I guarantee you, if you reverse that energy and invest into your marriage, it would be a lot better.
Absolutely. Stop trying to live out everybody else's opinion about what you have and start living out the opinion of your mate. What does your mate say about the relationship?
And
if your mate doesn't feel good, you should be willing to make the change because of what your mate is saying, not because of what the people are saying.
Who cares about everybody else that's outside of your house? You married your mate. You're not married to your church and the members of your church. And anybody in your family, you're married to your mate. Your obligation and responsibility is to your mate.
Listen.
First, not to anybody else.
Listen.
If you want a happy marriage, make sure you take care of home first and don't put everybody else before your mate. That's a recipe for disaster.
In the Pentecostal Apostolic Charismatic Church, one of the differentiating factors between us and Catholicism In the Catholic Church, the priest can't marry. Priest can't marry. But we are afforded a gift from God to marry. That's why I don't know what Bible they read. What Bible they read from? Because they know doggone way. I said to my wife many times, if you really want to know if I got the Holy Ghost, there's many mornings we wouldn't have made it to church. We wouldn't have made it because she came sashaying past, getting herself ready, and my mind wasn't on the scriptures. My mind was not on the scriptures, but I knew that God had given me an assignment, and I knew I had to do my assignment. But there was some morning, boy, I went to church, grit my teeth, like, God, do I really have to go, Lord? Some mornings I ain't want to go, because when you find a good thing, you will want to spend more time with your good thing rather than the assignment, which is the second part of your responsibility in God.
Lady Tracy, I love you.
Yeah, it's obviously it's the truth. I mean, it is the truth. I mean, there's some mornings I'm telling you I didn't want to go because, woo, first lady be walking by. In a minute I'm gonna have to give her like a whole. I'm building a suite in our bedroom. And I'm gonna say, look, you get dressed over there. Come out fully clothed, because that's gonna help me. Because your preparation is messing up my mind. I can't stay focused.
I know, but we're in a really good place, because I can remember earlier on in the relationship, I may have walked by, but I certainly didn't get the responses that I'm getting now. So
You had to say that.
it's true.
You had to say that.
Am I lying? No.
You ain't lying.
Oh.
I said you had to say it.
Well, we're being transparent, right? Okay. So yeah, so we're in a beautiful place right
Lord,
now.
some things now when I want to be transparent, see, y'all can't see it, but every time when we be doing this and I'll be really going down one
And
of
I'll rub his leg.
she start rubbing my leg. And that's a way of saying, hold, you going too far. Hold, you going too far, because you ready to say something. But then now she wanted to be like super transparent. I guess now we didn't got all out of here. So now
I say that because when I tell you all in the beginning, it was hell. It was just that. And just to see how far God has brought us and how the both of us have matured over the years, and how we appreciate each other and realize each other's worth and value. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, I agree. These couples need this. They need this. They need this. They need it. Yeah. You know that means hold on, sir. Yeah, I know. I know. But it's amazing how I don't get a chance to rub her leg talking about, come on, girl, don't
stop.
Come on, girl, because you can already say something.
Oh my goodness.
But there have been times where even in the hardness of time, the one thing that I learned, even when it was hard, that what will help you to get over is when there are moments when you can laugh. Somehow the relationship became, in most cases, and you all agree or disagree, sometime in the relationship, it becomes so serious that there's no joy, there's no laughter, there's no friendship where you can just enjoy one another. And because it gets that way, it really makes the relationship hard. And this is why we don't get a chance to really exhale, because we're always so tight. We're always so tight. But now what I see is that, we laugh about, I mean, just any and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, our minds are so at one. We're almost thinking about the same thing so many times that we'll know, what each other will think about certain things. Now, I will say, First Lady has the craziest dry humor I've ever seen.
Really?
It is crazy. Sometimes stuff she be laughing at, I'd be thinking,
Really?
baby, that ain't.
See, you didn't have to say that.
You're funny. You need a new bone for your
Yes,
funny.
I have a very dry sense
You
of
need a
humor.
new bone for your funny. You need a new bone.
I love you too.
But when she hit one, though, we do let her know, like, oh, she got it funny. She didn't hit it funny. You didn't hit it funny. We are.
Yes, he is, Lady Tracy.
I am not.
Yes, he is.
Daughter, don't do that. Don't do that, because you create problems. I'm not coming for her. I am not coming for her.
Yes, he is.
I am not coming for her. I'm not.
But
I am coming for her,
something.
but I ain't coming for her like that. I ain't coming for her like that.
Now, we know that, baby.
I know.
So when you were saying that, the times when things are, is really tense.
It can't
in a
be too.
relationship,
It can't.
But
ladies and gentlemen, you cannot. It can't be so tense where there's no moments of joy.
yeah, but I want to be transparent. So the time that we experience that, I'm only speaking for myself, things can be so adverse at times in relationship that, it just kind of consumes you and overwhelm you. And sometimes it's hard to get out of that, it's hard to get out of that place. And where you want to laugh, you want to enjoy, it's not there, and it's hard to pull it out as much as you want it. It's very hard.
So, question. And if somebody wants to make a comment, let us know. I'll even send you a link and pull you in real quick. Got a question. Since you said that, does it matter that you are constantly fighting or dealing with bill collectors all the time?
Does it?
Yes.
Yes.
So, is the relationship sometimes not because the two individuals are so bad for one another? It's just they haven't learned how to manage money, and dealing with all these bill collectors, it adds a level of intensity and stress to the relationship that then falls upon the man of the relationship itself.
I agree with that, but I still believe that if the relationship is in a healthy, is in a healthy place, and you do have the bill collectors calling and everybody else, if it's in a healthy place, that should not make, at least I don't think, the relationship be as tense as what you were referring to, if it's in a healthy place. However, if it's not in a healthy place, it will make things very, very tense. Very tense.
So Lady Tracy said, it can dictate your day and your business. Absolutely.
Yes, it can.
It can. And then Denise said, have either of you ever, before meeting each other, questioned if God had your mate for you? And if so, did your mate come from prayer? No, I didn't. See, here, let me deal with this part right here. Okay, let me deal with this part. Denise, if you go back and look at what happened with Adam and Eve, all right, here's something very interesting you cannot deny. Adam was working. God formed him. God planted him in the garden. He's working in the garden. Adam is not even thinking about a wife because there is no such thing in his mind. There's no such thing. God stops him and says, it's not good for you to be alone. God stops him and says, it's not good for you to be alone. He didn't even know what that was. He didn't know what it was. He stops him and he says, hey, it's not good for you to be alone. I'm going to give you a helpmeet, not a wife. He didn't say wife. He said, I'm going to give you a helpmeet. But then told him, now go back to work. And I know Adam was saying, but what you mean? What? Huh? Wait, you just uncovered something about my life, and now you tell me just go back to life like it was, like what you didn't just say didn't affect my whole life? Hold up. But I guess I can't stop you because you God, so I got to go back to work.
Back to work.
He goes back to work. When he has concluded what he was doing, God puts him in a coma. He goes into him. He pulls out this woman, brings the woman to Adam. Adam then says, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, you shall be called woman. Now, I said this 2 weeks ago. I'm going to bring it up again. What was Adam's assignment? His assignment was to name everything in the garden. Whatever he named it, God backed it. God did his part. He brought Adam help. Adam upgraded it, and he named her this woman, this wife, and then God backed it. So to answer your question of do you pray your mate into existence? What we've got to stop doing is creating a mythological Christianity that we do not live. That's not what I find. Very few people who sit around praying, hata, ota ba ba ba, shata. I want a woman, long hair, cup size 40, Coca-Cola shape, buns for days. I wanted to have long legs, but little feet. I mean, nobody ain't praying that. No woman is praying, God, I need a chocolate man. I mean, a Snicker type chocolate.
Okay, let me ask you.
I mean, the kind of chocolate that when he walks by, the milk from the chocolate leaves a trail for me to follow. I need the type of chocolate that'll make me wander in the wilderness looking for him because the chocolate is so good. I need him to have short hair, not long hair. I don't need dreadlocks. I need short, wavy hair.
Okay,
Nobody prays that.
Okay, so let me say this. So you're telling me that we should not.
I didn't say should.
Okay, I was about to say so. It's
No.
okay.
I didn't say should. What I'm saying is, the question is, before we met,
yeah,
have either of you before meeting each other questioned if God had your mate for you, and if so, did your mate come from prayer?
Okay, all right. I was about to say it's okay to be specific in your request, but what you want. Okay.
No. You can look, make your request known. Yes.
That's why I asked that.
But in most cases, there is no fasting and prayer with sackcloth and ashes, because you praying for a Morris Chestnut type dude with Denzel's height and Jay-Z's money. You know that. No, it didn't. No, Denise, it didn't. I'm sorry, Denise. We're making it hard for you at work. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to be honest that no, I didn't pray. I didn't pray for Savannah. I didn't. When I even found her, I wasn't looking for anything. I was really in a very despondent place. I was in a very despondent place. My first wife had just died, and Christianity was really, I was in a very bad mindset, very bad. When I met her, it was just really a platonic meeting. And it just carried over. It wasn't about prayer. It wasn't about anything. As a matter of fact, the prayer part of it didn't even kick in until well after we was having sex. I mean, I don't want to mislead anybody. Mm-hmm. We were well into having sex with one another before the spiritual part of it kicked in. Yeah. I'm just being honest.
And I wasn't looking for a mate either when I first met Bishop. That was nowhere on my mind at all. I wasn't thinking about marriage, anything. I was just doing my thing. I was involved in a church, but I wasn't thinking about marriage. I wasn't thinking about a family. I was just doing me at the time. And was not praying for God to send me anybody at the time. I was enjoying my me time.
And I mean, you doing your thing, y'all were together, y'all was just living y'all life, and I was trying to figure out life. So let me be clear that y'all were living life, and I was trying to figure out life. I was so despondent in my Christian faith, having lost my second son and my wife in a 48-hour span. Nothing even made sense to me. Nothing made sense. It didn't even make sense. So the danger of the perceptive, I'm praying for a mate, I'm going to tell y'all something. Most times stuff that we pray for, we ain't as accurate as we want to make folk think. And I've tried to tell people, I've said to leaders, I've said to parishioners, you trying to hear God talking about I'm waiting on the Lord for the Lord to tell me, I'm going to tell you, you have missed God more than you have heard him.
That's true.
You've missed him. Do not give yourself that much credit. Mm-hmm. Please don't give yourself. Please do not try to theologically make yourself into this individual that you are not, because you are not as smart as you tend to think that you are. What happened because we made a conscious decision
yes,
to make it right after we started off wrong. Mm-hmm. Let me clarify, because it looks sweet now. It looks sweet, and I'm telling you something. I am deeply in love with my wife, very, very, and I mean the whole world knows it. But that came through some serious soul seeking on my part. Very. There were some internal things that I had to deal with, one of which was anger. I had to deal with my own anger. And the anger that I had was a bipartisan type of anger, because it was actually connected to a lot of other things. But because it was there, when she would do something, it would then kick the anger up, and then I take out of my anger out on her, which is another thing that happens in relationship. Your mate typically becomes the dumping ground for a lot of your ill-willed emotions. And at times, they are suffering from a lot of the moral, ethical, psychological bashing because of things that you're internalizing. And until you are true to yourself and deal with yourself, mm-hmm. Many people are not happy with where they are in life, mm-hmm. Whether it is emotional, psychological, whether it's financial, whether it's sexual. Some people aren't even happy with their bodies. You're just not happy. So because you're not happy, your mate just becomes the dumping ground for all of your anger. which contributes to a lot of the reasons why the relationship isn't good. And until you deal with you, and even if you're in a relationship, you better take a moment and deal with your own insecurities.
Yes.
Deal with the parts that you're not happy with. Deal with the, I shared with my wife recently, one of the unresolved that I'm just grateful to God that she just said that she's allowing me to do. One of the things that I have been so unsatisfied and unresolved in my life was that I had gotten my bachelor's degree, but I didn't finish and go to get my master's and my doctorate. And I knew that I could do it. I knew I could do it. Well, we've decided that when I said it to my wife immediately said, well, you know what, baby? You need to do that.
And let me stop here. And I said that because you always want to make sure your spouse has your support and that you're happy for your spouse. Because I finished my bachelor's degree in 2016, well after we were married.
Yeah.
And it was so much that I had to deal with, and he was with me and encouraging me every step of the way. So it would have been very selfish for me to say anything contrary to, what he wanted to do. He was able to help me get through my schooling, and we had the kids and still working and pastoring and everything else. So I owe that to him. I want him to be happy. I want him to have that sense of gratification. He deserves that. And he didn't rob me from the opportunity of going to school. Although I still have my wifely and motherly duties, he was pushing me the entire time. So I think it's a wonderful idea. And I'm going to push him as well.
You know how I feel about education. I want to say this to all of you that are either engaged in relationship, you're there, or you're contemplating. You better learn how to push your mate. Learn how to get behind your mate. Learn how to get behind that person and help them, push them to the place of success. Because when they've reached the plateau of that success, you are going to become the place where the outpouring of that success is going to fall. When they hit that place, you're going to be the first person that they're going to really exhibit all of the joy and satisfaction. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The moment my wife said to me, she said, "Really? You want to get your master's and your doctorate?" Because what I'm going to wind up doing, I'm actually in the process of, is happening right now. I'm actually going to do a master's and doctorate program together because I want the acceleration, because I believe I can do it.
Absolutely.
I believe I can do it. Two, because I just have that drive. Many of you that really know me, I am a stickler for education. I've been an adjunct professor. I've worked my way up to the board of directors at a college. I taught business English, business mathematics, medical law and ethics. And many people know how I feel about systematic theology and sociology and the doctrines of the church. And I preach it. My members know on a Sunday morning, you getting a full scale area. You getting spirituality, you getting theology, biblical studies. They getting it all on a Sunday morning. They getting it all because I love it so much. And she said, if that's what you want, she said, I want you to get it. And so if all goes well, because of my experience and because I'm going to get on the accelerated track, which for some is like insane, but I want it so bad. But I'm going to do a dual major, dual degree in 2021 to achieve both my master's degree in theology and also my doctoral degree in theology. So I got little butterflies.
I can't
because that's a sense of accomplishment, and I really want it. And I thank you so much that you even you just jumped in and said, yeah, I really want you to do that, which I knew you would, but the I think the joy that was on your face just made it better for me. Just watching how you were smiling when I said it just made me smile more because I really want it. I really, really want it. And I said to her, I want to trade in my truck and I want to get, there's several vehicles I want, but to be practical right now, I want the Mercedes-Benz AMG crossover, the AMG 63 crossover. And I said to her, I want that doctoral degree more than I want that car. That's how bad I really want it. I just want it so bad. And I can feel it. I feel myself, putting that doctoral robe on and putting that piece of paper up on the wall, along with my master's, along with my theological degree. I'm really looking forward to it.
I am too.
And I appreciate you, the joy of you wanted to see me do that. I appreciate that.
Well, we're in this together, baby.
Yeah.
We are in this together.
Yeah. All the way.
All the way.
All the way.
All the way to the end.
I like the fact that we really push each other ambitiously. Sometimes your mate has incomplete things in their life. I want y'all to listen to me very carefully. Sometimes when two individuals have come together, the love brought them together, but there's some incomplete things in the love that does have in an individual. The love is good, but individual as there is some things in the individual that prohibits the genuineness of happiness. When that individual finds out what that is, you want to encourage that person to fulfill whatever that void is, minus something that's crazy,
Sure.
But you want to push them to be the best person that they can be, because the best person that they can be is going to outpour in the love that they have for their mate.
And I must say, when you're in a relationship, sometimes that can be hard, as crazy as it sounds, especially if you did not come out of that type of environment. So you have to learn how to do that. You have to.
You really do. Be an encourager. Everybody's a sourpuss. You always got people fighting you everywhere. And it's sad. And I want to make this clear too. It is a fool frog that don't praise his own pond.
That's true.
Don't you let nobody outside of your house praise and celebrate your mate better than you.
Yeah.
Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare do that, because you are opening the door for soul tie connections with other people, because the satisfaction that they really want, they can't get it from you.
And it may not be a sexual tie. It could be an emotional soul tie.
Yeah.
And that's just as bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't live like that, y'all. Don't live like that. Don't live like that. Don't allow yourself to open the door to be bonded with somebody else. Don't do that. Find that love at home. Find that security at home, y'all. Please find it at home. Because if you find it in the street, then that means you're going to have to live in the street. Are y'all listening to me? If you find the love in the street, if you find the encouragement in the street, then that means you're going to have to live in the street. You're going to have to live there, because that's where you're being nursed. Listen, let me give y'all biology 101. In biology, there is an ecosystem. An ecosystem is the environment that is the nurturing
Mhm.
for the organism to live.
Mhm.
If you remove the organism from that place of nurturing, it's not going to exist.
Yeah.
It needs that ecosystem in order to survive.
Mhm.
In order for the love of the marriage to work, the ecosystem of the marriage is where it's supposed to be nursed. But if you are not getting it in that ecosystem and you're getting it from another system, you are going to live more in that system
Yeah,
than you are going to be living in your home.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why he or she works lonely. That's why they're not in a hurry to come home. That's the reason why. The reason why they're not anxious to come home is because home is someplace else.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, just like I'm gonna say this, under no circumstances should a couple, if you are going 30 days, 3 weeks, I'd even say 2 weeks, and there's no sexual intimacy happening, something's wrong. Something's either wrong metabolically in the physical of the two individuals. Something is wrong psychological with the two individuals, or something is wrong emotionally, because there's no way
That amount of time should elapse before the two of you come together.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So you better find a way. If you don't feel like it when he's nudging on you at night, you better find a way to make it work. I'm telling you.
Now, I'm grateful to God to say we don't have that problem.
We don't have that problem.
Ooh,
Thank
Lord
you, Jesus.
Jesus, we don't have that problem. I don't, Destin is, Destin's on. We ain't trying to give our child, post-traumatic syndrome, listening to his parents, talk about, their life. But that
It's not a problem.
And I can encourage anybody and tell you, there's no way you are living a false love if you are that comfortable being away from your partner that long. That's a problem.
Unless there's something going on that you have discussed with your mate.
What discussion are we having? Let me.
So now, wait a minute.
Let me lean up right here.
So
let me say there ain't no discussion. What is we discussing? What discussion?
So maybe not a month. Well, maybe she may
have?
be going through some. But like you said, it could be psychological, emotional changes. That's the time whenever.
You're a therapist, but you better bring that booty home.
You know. You know. Stop it.
Let them shrink that brain, but you bring that booty home.
No, wait. You are crazy. No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about being together intimately.
Drug bust.
I'm talking about being together intimately, not staying away from home.
Oh.
See, look at you. You excuse him, y'all.
Wait, say.
Oh my God.
Don't play no game.
I can't believe you just did that.
Dang.
I was talking about coming together intimately. If weeks are going by, he mentioned that there could be something emotionally going on. And that could be very well possible. That's a time when you sit down and have those conversations with your mate.
Sure.
You could be going through changes. Your wife could be going through menopause. Or just an array of things that could be happening. But communication can stop,
have that discussion. Yeah. Have that discussion. And then go have sex.
You were crazy.
Just had a discussion, just then
Oh my gosh.
that's my, like whatever, we gonna argue, then we gonna pay the bill.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
We gonna pray and then we.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just you just did that. See, we love being transparent. We have moments like this a lot.
I just want you all to know that you will have a very engaging revelation from God when you have a very engaging stimulation from your mate. Thank you, Jesus.
Whew, I can't do that.
No, you can with me. That's the thing. You can.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I can. Yes. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is the problem. Because ain't nobody walking around here levitating off the ground. All right. Let me. And you ain't. Your name is not Enoch. You are not walking with God, and then you're going to walk out of this life. Okay. You are in this life with parts. Okay. So don't make it seem like that you so spiritual that you don't comprehend what we are articulating to you. Don't do that. Don't do that, because don't it's and I don't see how people make it seem as if that it's not a part of life. I've tried to make people see biblically marriage was a gift for this life.
Mm-hmm.
There is no marriage when you get to heaven. There's no marriage when you get to heaven. So I'm maximizing my benefits. Thank you, Jesus.
Right now.
I'm just trying to tell you, I'm maximizing my benefits.
All day, every day.
Girl, you talking good.
Oh my gosh.
You talking good. That ain't got you that we gonna upgrade your ring again soon.
I'll take it.
Yes.
I'll take it.
Yes. Because we look, all of it is a part of the benefit of what God gave us. And if he gave it to us, I believe he was wise enough to know that we needed it. Mm-hmm. I really believe he was wise enough to know that we needed it. I really do. And I also think he was wise enough to know to give y'all a cycle and not us. Because I jokingly say this, but I will say this very profoundly. If a man has no cycle, if he is at any given moment, he's ready. How does he go months and never touch you? Mm. How does he go weeks and never touch you? But yet another woman walks by and you are aroused, or you make a comment, or you look, but yet you don't look, you don't touch, you don't engage at home. Mm-hmm. Something's not right. Something's not right. Something's off. Something's not there. And at some point, something's gonna happen. And let me go out here. It is not the will of the Lord that you are self-indulging. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not the will of God. And here's the reason why I know it's not the will of God. Why would he give you the part that is used for the coming together with another so that you can be engaged independently. Why would he do that? Why? And even in the engagement independently, in order for the arousement to happen, you still got to be thinking about somebody
That's
else.
True. Absolutely.
So don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself justifying something that God never intended for you to do to satisfy something that is not in the will of God for you to have.
That's true.
That's not. Now, when you marry, the bed is undefiled. Swing from the chandelier. Just do whatever you do, what you like. Just do what you like. She rubbing my leg. All right, I get it. That's my. She want to pull it in. Right? She want me to pull it in. I pull it in. Yeah. I just
Enjoy yourself.
Just help yourself. That better?
I think
That's better. Okay. Just help yourself. It's like Thanksgiving. Just help yourself. It's like a buffet. Maybe just go, just help yourself. Just get a little of this, get a little of this. Y'all eat till your heart is content. Then just till your heart's content.
Oh my Lord.
Just till you fall off into a deep sleep. Just
That's right. Look straight. I think this has been wonderful.
yeah.
Yes.
Have y'all? Has this helped anybody? Has it helped anybody? Are y'all? Give me some hearts. Give me some thumbs up. If this has really helped you, it stimulated you, it made you think. Um, are you really being encouraged? Are you being uplifted? Let us know. Um, Let us know what you're feeling, what you're thinking, because we really want to make sure that we are really, really helping you uh, to be the best couple. And for those of you who are either unfortunately coming out of a relationship, I want you to have ambition to know that it's still a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then for those of you that are engaged or going into a relationship, I want y'all to know that, yeah, it's possible. Lord, somebody go get Denise, please. So y'all go get her. Lord, go get her. Somebody go get her, please. Lord have mercy.
So it's possible, but just know that it doesn't matter. You have to put in the work for any relationship to work. You have to put the work in.
Now I want to.
It's possible.
Now I want to show somebody. This is what my son said. This is my ideal of a perfect couple. Chill, funny, loving, caring, wholesome. They don't care about what anyone says about them, and they give the best presents. Boy, that last statement. You can always know when your kids want something, because he was all good. He was all good. Then he got that part right there. You see that part right there? Boy, no Christmas coming.
He knows it's coming.
Boy, ain't he something? He is the governor.
That is funny. For sure.
That boy. Lord, he is funny. He's funny. Oh, absolutely. 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 I think we need to kind of come down out the clouds for a minute. And because I've listened to all these different things that we said in church, and I have come out of certain settings shaking my head like, who is doing that? I got some people, You talking about, I was praying and God gave me a vision for my wife and I saw this and I'm thinking, and Negro, you ain't even married to her now. So what? So what? God was off?
No, you were off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just something. But come here, boy. Come here. So my man child, he in the back, he's sending messages like, meet the man child, everybody. This is our guy Des.
Hello.
This is our guy right here. This is the man child right here. This is the dude right here. This is the dude. This is the dude right here. This is our guy right here. That boy is intelligent, is all outdoors.
That's the governor.
We call him the governor. He's the governor. Listen, so lastly, so what are you all doing for Thanksgiving? What are y'all doing for Thanksgiving? Thanksgiving's coming up. COVID is, Lord have mercy, Jesus. It's out there. What are you all doing for Thanksgiving? Oh, by the way, please, sow a seed, please. We're doing a lot going into the holiday season, and all of your donations are certainly helping us to do a multiplicity of things. So no seed is too small. We're not going to put any demand on it. $1, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever you want to sow, just be a blessing to what we're doing. There's going to be some major changes going into 2021 in terms of our software and the things that what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing some big time things going into 2021. Kind of knew, with the COVID early on was happening, so I've been forecasting and preparing. So So I want to. So let's see. So Destin, he nothing much. How about you? Well, you doing whatever we doing, boy. But Lady Tracy said, cooking for my family and going home, dropping food off. Okay. And then Denise will be on the plantation. We got to help you. We Lord, you listen. You ain't gonna find a husband because you always at work. We gotta get you off your job. We gotta get you off. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the seeds that are coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so very much for all of your donations. Thank you, Lady Tracy, for your donation. Thank you. And I'm seeing some other messages here. Getting a bunch of messages here. Okay. Wow. I got tons of messages coming in here. Listen. So Mickey, hey, Mickey, eating with friends and family, bringing desserts. I love it, Mickey. I love it. Glad you were on tonight too. I saw you had come in. So appreciate you coming on. And
yes.
And actually, you kind of become a vicarious member. We're going to talk about membership here because you've been really connected, and I want to. If we're going to really make that connection, then let's make that connection because I want to bring you into the family. Okay. So I'm glad, and that's what I want. I just want to. I mean, I can preach and do all of the other things, and I love it. But at times, people have these false perceptions of people in ministry and marriage. And I just want them to know that, I'm prolific, I'm prophetic, I preach, I'm a businessman, I'm a father, I'm all of these things. But when it's all said and done, I'm Savannah's husband. And I enjoy being your husband. I enjoy it. When I was in Indiana, I was having withdrawals. I was ready to come home. in the midst of all that great church. And those of you all that were in Indianapolis, Lord, Bishop Marvin Denson, sir, we had some great church in Indianapolis. Oh my God, Lord. If y'all, I think what I'm gonna do is show the video. I got a chance to hear from Sunday's best, Joshua Rogers. Let me tell you something. That dude,
He can sing.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. If good singing was a sickness, I'd have had the coronavirus. Lord, that dude can sing his face off. Lord. Woo, Lord. Yep. Didn't overseer, did we not have church? Lord. And as I said, the minute that was there, and it was therapeutic. We needed it because we've been out for so long. We needed it. And it felt good. It felt good. And that's just leading up to our convocation next year. Bishop Denson again for next year. I mean, it's going to be some great convocations coming next year. It's going to be great. Listen, I want everybody to be safe going into the holiday season. We're going to have some holiday episodes. We're going to be doing some things really to celebrate the holidays, trying to just uplift. It's been very difficult for so many people throughout the United States of America. We've lost some great voices and great people this year. And I want to be encouraging and uplifting for all that are going to be going through this holiday season. We're going to be right here for holidays, spending our holiday right here. We're going to be doing a virtual coming together with my family just so we can see one another. We're going to be doing that. So there's a lot that we're going to be doing. But most importantly, this coming Sunday, as you always know, we're going to be right back with you for our Sunday morning Love Center virtual experience. If you've never had an opportunity to be a part of our that Love Center experience, it is like none other. We certainly want you. We want you to be able to join us for the Love Center virtual experience. It's 10 a.m. It's at 10 a.m. You can join us. We come right on. We don't stay long unless the Spirit of God really moves us to do that. It's a wonderful experience. First Lady preached her face off last week, and I heard about it. And actually, I logged on a little bit while I was in Indianapolis because I was having withdrawals. So I got a chance to see her, and she was definitely, I mean, you was definitely sharing the word. So for those of you that would love to be with us, the information is right there. Please, we would love to have you to join us for the Love Center virtual experience. We would love to have you. And then for all of my colleagues, all of you all that are doing ministry, the numbers are going up. They're restricting us. I want you to be careful, but I want you to be poignant. Please, if there was ever a time that we needed to hear the gospel, we need to hear it now. And I encourage you, and I speak the blessings of God upon all of you that are sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Please, I want you to do it with great vigor, great intensity. Touch the lives of the people. We want you to subscribe. Want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that way you'll be able to watch a lot of our YouTube broadcasts as well. If you miss us on Facebook, you can watch us on YouTube. That way you can follow us and be with us. And the people are, look, they're saying, you know, you was in the vein on Sunday. You want to preach again on Sunday?
God bless you all. I didn't say no, but we'll work that out.
Interpretation. No, Bishop, you preaching Sunday.
No, that's not what I meant. It's not. It's not.
Watching you. All right, listen. It's been great. We always have just a great time being with you. This is the Love Center midway midweek 2A talk, and we've been talking about Love Chronicles with Bishop and Lady Smith. So we enjoy being with you all. Come back. We're going to do it again next Wednesday. We're going to do it again next week, right before the holiday. We're going to do it again. We're going to make it a little fun. So please, I want you all to join us next Wednesday. It's going to be really, really fun in our Love Chronicle. It's going to be our Love Chronicle Holiday Edition, and we're going to have a great, great time. I got some things planned. First Lady don't even know, but we're going to have a great, great time. I want you to tag somebody, bring somebody on. We'll have a great time. I speak the blessings of God upon all of you as you are endeavoring to do what you are doing. I appreciate your influence in the earth. Overseer Maxwell, thank you for being with us on tonight. I certainly speak blessings over you and to Lady Renee for you all being with us, and to all of my sons and daughters. Thank you so much for being with us on tonight. And those that are ministry friends, thank you so much for being with us on tonight. We certainly have looked forward and we look forward to being with you all on these nights. Join us Sunday morning, 10 a.m. for the virtual experience with myself and Lady Savannah. So, as always, we know that you all are going to be safe because you're going to practice social distancing and you're going to keep that mask on. Wash your hands. All right. This is Bishop Tyrone Smith and Lady Savannah Smith of the Love Center. It is truly a church where love is in the center. And we appreciate you so very much. Everybody, stay blessed. We look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.